So, Disney's Hollywood Studios facing yet another overhaul, gentlemen, as the animation Courtyard is going to become the Walt Disney Studios and bring back the magic of Disney animation. Now, for those of you that don't know, the magic of Disney animation was what was once in the area that is now the Star Wars launch bay. It was a interactive, at the time it was a working animation studio, and it was one of my favorite places there. I'm very conflicted about this story. So let's see. Walt Disney World has revealed plans to revamp the animation Courtyard of Disney's Hollywood Studios, transforming it into the Walt Disney Studios with a new interactive area that will resurrect the classic magic of Disney animation experience, slated for a 2026 debut. This is going to be a pretty quick turnover. This shift draws from the Burbank Animation headquarters and the short film Once Upon a Studio, aiming to immerse guests in a world where the characters come alive. However, the announcement arrives during a period of relentless construction around Walt Disney World Resort, sparking debates among fans who had hoped this space might have hosted the Monsters Inc. land instead of sacrificing the cherished Muppet Vision 3D elsewhere in the park. Now, of course, the area's storied past, the animation courtyard, was originally the hub for the park's active production studios when Disney's MGM Studios opened in 1989, serving as the starting point for backstage tours and housing the original Magic of Disney animation attraction. Now, the experience closed in July 2015 to make way for the Star Wars launch bay. Now, Disney's decision to revive a similar concept feels like more of a nostalgic return to the park's roots with a modern twist. But guys, I mean, let's take a look here. We see here this concept art. We got the sorcerer hat back. That's another thing they're bringing back. I happen to love the I loved the sorcerer hat. I always loved the sorcerer hat.
Well, that's to reflect the Roy Disney building, correct? That's to reflect the actual animation studio in Burbank. So that's appropriate.
Right. Right, I agree, and so this is what the area is going to look like. I mean, basically a lot of the same. But the launch bay, an area that has served no purpose since Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has opened, is basically going away. And they're finally going to do something with the Disney Junior space. And then, of course, you still got Walt Disney Presents, formerly known as One Man's Dream, and the Little Mermaid show there as well. Gentlemen, this is a fairly big deal. So before we get into the discussion, let's see what to expect here. The Magic of Disney Animation will occupy buildings styled after the Roy E. Disney Animation Building, as Vash just said, complete with the sorcerer hat. The concept revolves around animators stepping away, allowing the characters to take over in chaotic, interactive fashion. Guests can wander through the studio departments with lively portraits, watch a short film, and participate in drawing sessions to create character sketches, elements that directly echo the hands-on activities of the original attraction from long ago. Now, for younger visitors, Drawn to Wonderland offers an indoor playground inspired by Alice in Wonderland, concept art from Mary Blair featuring musical flowers, a Mad Tea Party playset, and exploratory zones. Character meet and greets will also abound, providing opportunities to interact with Disney favorites. So there's some more concept art of what this experience is going to be like. Your experience may vary. But on paper, it sounds like a nostalgic nod to animation history, potentially appealing to families seeking lighter, creative experiences amid the park's thrill-heavy lineup. Gentlemen, I open the floor to you. What do you guys have to say about this?
This is big for a number of reasons. One, I think you're exactly correct. This is where the next series of expansions should have gone in Disney's Hollywood Studios. We have noted multiple times that this park needs more attractions, more things to do, especially for its heavy price tag. And so putting something in this space is a very interesting maneuver, especially as we're losing Muppets Courtyard for Monsters Inc. So could Monsters Inc. have actually been placed here? I think very well it could have. Obviously, they've gone a different direction. And I want to go ahead and bring this up as well, because we've seen some very interesting things happen in this space, particularly with Disney feature animation just beyond that. This is a story unfortunately we couldn't cover to the extent that we would have otherwise, because there was so much news around this time. But Disney themselves actually took a lot of photos and went into the detail and history of Disney feature animation that sits just beyond this animation courtyard right here. You can kind of see how that looks in this B-roll right here. What I find very interesting is that right after they go into Disney feature animation and showcase this kind of this lost studio space that's been dormant since I think the 1990s or early 2000s. Now we have something actually going in the animation courtyard, replacing Star Wars Launch Bay, which, by the way, Star Wars Launch Bay had been there for years, All they really needed to do was update it. They could have updated it on both coasts. That's been closed. Well, at least it has Disneyland. I know Disney Hollywood Studios, I think it's got like what, seasonal operation or reduced operations, something like that. They could have updated that. They are not. They're opting for animation instead of Star Wars. That tells you the strength of that brand.
Well, I mean, also you got to figure if you're going to do anything, what are you actually losing with the launch bay going away? You're losing with the Darth Vader BB-8 and Chewbacca meet and greets, which honestly, at this point, I don't care about timelines and storylines. Just put it in Galaxy's Edge somewhere, like seriously, or just put them in the animation courtyard, in the building. I mean. If character meet and greets are going to be everywhere the way they were in the original, like this was the magic of Disney animation was always where you would go to see whatever the new thing was. Like I remember I was there the year that Up came out. So like Carl and Doug and them were all in the animation courtyard. But now here's the thing. The rumor was always that we could have put Monsters Inc. here, but it meant that the executives would have to give up their cushy offices in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're doing this, but here's the thing to remember. This fits neatly into the footprint that is already there. So they can do something new here and be like, oh, no. It's not because we didn't want to give up our cushy offices. It's because we're putting something new and something nostalgic here for you all while also keeping our cushy offices.
Culture, please.
Yeah.
It's funny that space has always been kind of flexible. It's been used in various ways since the studios park opened. And look, this was an underwhelming park to begin with, so why not add more underwhelming to it? You're just gonna get more of the same. This has always been attractionless as a park, and this is adding more or less attraction than you could possibly imagine. So enjoy.
Well, I think
the culture.
Ahead,
Don't you think that in a way this is almost kind of returning to the park's roots, that it's being about filmmaking, about animation, like we're actually it's like if Epcot all of a sudden started doing edutainment again. Like I actually see this kind of as a net positive because it's almost like, hey, we're getting back on track almost with this park.
Oh yeah, it's definitely returning to its roots. I mean, just to show you how little and creatively bankrupt the company is, this is exactly a return to form. So I agree with you 100%. And that's not even a little bit sarcastic.
Well, I will say there are interactive experiences for kids they're providing something for kids to do. We have long lamented the fact that they have removed a lot of the playground spaces and so forth from this park. I believe the Honey or Shrink the Kids, if I'm not mistaken, play area, that's been removed for quite some time. And just for little ones, there just really hasn't been all that much to do. Now we're incorporating something that, can incorporate them. And I think that's actually a good thing. So positives there. What's not so positive, though, I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of nostalgia and visceral reaction to this. Walt Disney World News Today is reporting that Disney's Hollywood Studios animation courtyard Archway to be demolished. We've seen many incarnations of this over the years. It has been almost the second icon for this specific park right here, behind Grauman Chinese Theater, but then Tower Terror also plays that role. It's a little weird, but the Disney Hollywood Studios Archway leading into the park's animation courtyard will be demolished. Concept art for the updated animation courtyard does not include the Archway. The courtyard will be updated with the return of the magic of Disney animation experience at Disney Hollywood Studios, as Marvin beautifully wrote on That Park Lays. The Archway is a secondary icon for the park, located at the front of the courtyard. Since 2019, it has featured modern Disney Hollywood Studios logo. That's kind of disappointing.
That's beyond disappointing. That's atrocious. I can't believe that they would do that. It's such it's an iconic photo op. It's such an iconic area. Every time one of those sitcoms did their 90s, the sitcom Goes to Walt Disney World episode, they always inevitably found themselves underneath that archway. Like I remember the Full House cast, I think, being underneath that archway. I don't know. I definitely think this is a misstep. Almost as bad as when they got rid of the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, but real quickly, just recognize something, that if you have three weenies, three icons, you might as well have no icon. You don't have an identity. This park has never truly had one. And now I know I sound like the glum guy. I'm Mr. Downer, but I'm being honest. There has never been an actual identity for this park. It should have been Grumman's, but they became ashamed of that. And this archway was basically like entering into Universal. It's not any better than the archway entry for the Universal Park. So there really hasn't been anything that has been the central idea behind this park. It was always a scattered shotgun approach to theme park design. And look, don't misunderstand. I love the park. I love some of the attractions, but they just never found something that really told you what this park was. And
look
they
at the baby
still
dinosaur.
Yeah,
sorry, baby dinosaur.
I like Dinosaur. In fact, they need to bring back that family. That was a great sitcom, and they can still do it even better now. There was, again, Disney had good ideas that they abandoned far too early.
Well,
and
how do you move forward? The last episode was them all dying in the Ice Age.
Well, I feel like you bring them back. I mean, have you seen Jurassic Bologna Sausage?
No, I have not. Anything else to add on to this one?
Good things. They're actually doing something with Star Wars Launch Bay. A lot of people have been questioning that, anticipating that for a lot of years now. They're finally doing something with that. They're replacing Star Wars with animation. I think that's very interesting. They're adding interactive experiences. They're adding stuff for kids to do. All good things. What's not so good is, obviously, we lost Muppets Courtyard for Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. should have been placed here. That's for sure. And the Archway, the iconic Archway that's been part of this park's legacy for so long, getting removed, that's not great either. But overall, I mean, hey, they're investing, and we're not necessarily losing something beloved to do it. That's good.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.